Something interesting that I read on the Financial Times was that the debt default insurance costs are increasing in Europe. About 7% of the European Union's economy is auto manufacturing. And because of these tariffs, you're seeing the credit risk on Aston Martin and Volkswagen and other big car manufacturers getting absolutely dumped, pence on the pound. So what the price that the bonds were issued at versus what they're trading for now, which basically means that people don't trust Aston Martin to be able to pay off its debt. And the same thing is going for Volkswagen. These are the credit default swaps on Volkswagen. So basically the price of insuring default against Volkswagen has increased significantly in the last couple of weeks. Same goes for other corporate debts in the US. If you don't know how credit default swaps work, basically what you are doing, there is risk-free debt, which used to be the U.S. Treasuries, which is also another thing that might be unraveling. But let's just say it's the U.S. Treasuries, guaranteed that you'll get that payment. And then there is high-level AAA corporate bonds. So there will be a difference in the risk premium that people will ask for on a corporate bond. So say Treasuries are 4.5%, corporate bonds might be trading at 5%. But in an economic situation where things are worsening, you will see the risk premium on corporate bonds increase. And you can purchase insurance against the risk increasing. So what you can do is, if times are really good, for example, and the risk premium spread, the spread on the bonds is 50 basis points, you can purchase an insurance policy against the risk of default of that company. And somebody else will sell you that insurance policy and it will pay out if there is a credit event. So if the company goes bankrupt or defaults, or you can trade it and you can buy this policy at, let's say you pay $1 million for it when the spread is 50. If the spread increases to 150 basis points, the insurance premiums might have gone up to $7 million a month for the same debt. So what you can do is at that time you would be able to sell the insurance policy basically to somebody else to insure against the default of Volkswagen or whatever other company you want to insure against. And you can make a profit on basically the difference of the corporate debt. So that's how a credit default swap works. Kind of confusing, but basically all you have to know is that as the economies get worse and specific companies are targeted with these tariffs, their risk of defaulting goes up and you can trade on that risk. And by you, I mean very big institutions, because these insurance policies tend to be in the millions of dollars. But it is interesting to look at because this also just kind of reflects the sentiment on certain manufacturing. And if you've done any kind of research or reading into Germany, you'll know they're having like a double whammy of an issue, which I did talk about a little bit, but China is creating super cheap automobiles and they are exporting them like crazy. And Chinese people have stopped purchasing European-made automobiles and started purchasing locally. Additionally, within Europe, China is selling their cars super cheap. So Europe put up tariff barriers against that in 2022, and so that their local manufacturing could stay in place. And now you have their other big trading partner, the United States, which is putting up tariffs against them. So it's like this entire, it's a perfect storm for the auto industry in the European Union to get completely decimated. And it's such a big part of the European Union that it'll hurt if any of these companies go bankrupt or go out of business. It'll be quite painful and likely could cause a recession on its own. So yeah, that's kind of the situation. I don't know if it's going to get any better. I'm keeping my eye on the news pretty closely. I'm trying to buy when things are down. I have no idea what's happening in the market. 1 second it's up 1%, then it's down 1%. Now it's up 1.7% while I've been making this video. So I'm keeping my eye open. I'm trying to see if there's some news, something that indicates that the market should be going up, because realistically, fundamentally, if these things stay in place, we have barely seen any decrease in the US stock market.